Hi guys, and welcome to what is a very exciting day for me. It's a watch I've been chasing for a long time and it's finally happened. And this is an Autavia 2446C. Actually not C, sorry, it's 2446. And as you can see, it's got the big registers and it's a radium dial, so those lume markers are radium. It unfortunately, its previous owner lost the bezel, and I suspect the hands are service hands. But over time, hopefully we can put it back to normal or to its original parts. You'll notice that it hasn't got a signed crown, which is perfectly normal. Small pushes, also normal, and it has got an engraving on the side of the case with a serial number, a case serial number. All I'm going to do today is literally just give it a bit of this Plexi a bit of a clean up. It does look a little bit rough, and we're just going to give it a little bit of a polish and a clean up, just a sympathetic clean up. Cool, so I'm just going to start as usual with a bit of water paper, 1500 water paper. And I always do it with a bit of water. It just seems to make the process a little bit smoother and easier. And it will start to get that sort of hazy look to it as the plastic comes off. And you can actually hear and feel it's very dry. And that's just old plastic, I guess. So the water paper will just take the bigger scratches and things out of the Plexi, and then the rest will do with a polishing cream. I actually use an automotive polishing cream for cleaning chromed parts on vehicles, but it seems to work very well. And always just keep on rotating it just so that you apply even pressure all over the whole Plexi. You don't end up with flat spots. Let's give it a bit of a wipe. This was quite rough, so it is going to take a little bit of work on it. I'm sure the result will be good. So I just keep on dipping it into water paper. I should actually remove the bezel, but this doesn't have the insert, so there's no chance of me doing any damage to it. And if the truth be known, it's very difficult to get off, and I've taken it off once, and before doing this I put it back on again, and then couldn't get it off without trying to force something, so I thought I'll leave it off for now until I'm better equipped. And you also don't want to do more than necessary, so as those things come out, the marks, we can stop doing this and move rather to a cream. But it is starting to look a bit better. But there are still a couple of deep ones, but we will get them. Dip it into water again. Pushing a little bit harder now because they do seem to be quite stubborn, some of these. You'll actually feel and hear that it sounds a lot smoother once that rough old sort of surface has been taken off. That's obviously what the white material is that's left behind is the old Plexi. quite often guys do this with a buffing wheel, and I hate it. It actually makes the Plexi quite hazy. Almost seems to heat the Plexi up so it doesn't become, you know, fully see-through. It's always got a white haze to it, and I see that so often on vintage watches where guys have done the Plexi polish with the machine. It's obviously a lot easier, but the results for me are poorer. Just want to take a little bit of this water off. So with regards to the history of this Autavia, it was, I think these came out in 1962 or 63. They're big registers, as you can see. Both the movements and the cases were numbered on these first Autavias. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, which I'll show you just now, Valju 72 movement, but really nicely finished, which is, I mean, Valju 72 is normally a nice movement anyway, but this has been particularly nicely finished and looks fantastic. It's already looking much, much better. I'm going to do a little bit more. See all that old dry material coming off. But it does tend to clog up the sandpaper and then become a little more difficult to do. Carry on a little bit longer. In fact, I'm just going to get a fresher piece of sandpaper out. Obviously, if there's an insert in here, I'd be petrified to go so close, but because it's not, we are fine. It's already feeling a lot smoother, so the paper runs over the surface a lot easier and doesn't feel like it's dry and gritty. Right, I think that should be fine. Right, so you see it's got a bit of a hazy look to it, but that we will sort out shortly. So I'm going to dry wipe that. It's already looking much better. Right, so I use this product called Autosol, and it's a 75mm tube and works wonders. So I'm just going to prep a rag. And again, you can hear the sort of grittiness as it starts, and then it just becomes silky smooth as it takes out the little fine lines left behind by the water paper. Eventually I'm going to get myself an overhead camera that would be a lot easier to do this and have the camera above you rather than in front and essentially in your way. But for the purposes of now, it is all good. It really is coming out quite spectacularly. A few deep little pit marks, but I'm going to leave those. I just don't want to make flat spots and have a sort of an uneven plexi. And I think this kind of looks pretty good. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So there's a little bit of a mark there, but I think that's a nice result. So there we go. So that is a big register's first execution Autavia with a radium dial. So that lume on there is full radium. What I would like to do as well is just to show you this movement. absolute cracker of a movement. Let me zoom in a bit. Very, very nice. I didn't see any service marks inside here at all. You can see it's an HF case made by Heuer Autavia. Let's pop that back on. Right, so there we go. That is it. I'm just going to pop a strap on. Had to bring out my Heuer knife. Just pop this on here. Sorry for the not so great production, but it is free. There we go. And just as a matter of interest, next to me here, I've got a 2446C, which is the compressor caseback. And this would have been I think this is 1970. It's a bracelet from 1970, watch from 1970, and it's got a compressor caseback, which pushes on rather than screwing on, like the earlier 2446, and the one after this 2446 is the Jochen Rindt, which is also a screwback, and then they went to compressor casebacks after that. Sorry, this is looking a little bit murky. I just want to give it another. So there we go. You can clearly see the bigger registers. Cool, well thanks again for watching, and hopefully we keep you updated with some nice new incoming watches that we can give quick cleanups. This will go off to be serviced now, and I will eventually find hopefully the correct bezel insert for it. Thank you for watching. Chat again.